So would you say that Pony transcended the show itself to become something larger for you?
Oh yeah, definitely. In terms of, in general, looking at the community, I think it's hard to say a group of people so into creating all these things that may or may not have a lot to do with what's established in canon. And I've always been the kind of person to gravitate towards talking to people about the things I enjoy. Before going into Ponies, I used to hang around a lot of message boards of bands that I enjoy, and before I used to hang around message boards of games that I enjoy. So there's always been a bit of that in my life, but in all those cases, there never was this element of creating things around the things that we enjoy. I mean, it's kind of hard to create. Well, it's not hard, but it's not something that I see a lot, creating like stories out of bands that I enjoy or whatever. There being a lot of things being created around a thing that I enjoyed, and meeting people who did all these things definitely had a big hand in making it transcend the show for me personally.
So it was the sense of community that arose around My Little Pony that helped you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
As it has inspired all of these creative works around it, what would you say is the most important aspect of Pony to you in your own creations?
I mean, it's a mixture of things, because in general, not just in my creations, Pony is significant to me because it got me close to a lot of people, and being around the community has taught me a lot about myself, and I don't think I'd be the person I am right now without being exposed to the people and by proxy the show. So there's that, and in terms of my music, it's just the stuff that I find in the show that I can relate to and that sort of resonates with myself. That's what I'd say is the most important part for me.
So your own ability to project yourself into the universe, sharing experiences that the characters have had, that all is the primary aspect that inspires you to create music?
Yeah, it's funny because I was talking about something like this with Trax the Structure not too long ago. He was asking whether the fact that we write about cartoon horses makes any of the things that we talk about genuine, or if it's just like imitating whatever we find. And at least for me, it's the Pony thing. It's a very comfortable excuse to talk about things that might be a little personal, but it's not apparent that they're personal because I'm using the Pony smoke screen to sort of throw you off the scent of my personal things. But in that sense, it's also kind of relevant to me because it allows me to, just sort of strip my heart and put it out there without actually doing it. And it also gives me an audience because the people who listen to Pony music are after the Pony aspect of the thing. So it works out. I don't mean to say that I just use the Pony for the audience, but it definitely helps.
Yeah, the idea of projecting yourself and your own ideas through Pony is incredibly relevant here because Pony, it's so relatable in the universe that's been crafted and the characters that's been defined. There's something for everyone that they can just sort of latch onto and empathize with. We've got all kinds of stories from slice of life, adventure, romance, grimdark, whatever your fancy, there's Pony of it. And I have a hard time thinking of anything else that really can compare. So my question for you is, why do you think that is? Why have Ponies become a universal medium through which to express yourself?
I'd be hard pressed to come up with a solid answer right here, right now, but I don't know. I definitely think there was a factor concerning the initial excitement about the show, back when the whole creating content thing started, that people were just excited to create something based around something that they found that they liked and find people who enjoyed that too. And I think that and the exposure that these kinds of things are able to get with sites like Equestria Daily and Every Radio and whatnot has helped to let people know that it's not only acceptable to create all of these things, but encouraged, and that no matter what you do, you will be able to find people who will enjoy the stuff that you create and who will enjoy the stuff that you do. And I think that just creates an environment that fosters this kind of thing.
Right. As you said, making things Pony gives you access to this massive audience. And for the people who are earnest about it, it provides a common ground through which people can share ideas and provides a collective of people that are willing to experience the ideas, an open mind and with positivity and encouragement. And so I think you're definitely right that Ponies are special in that they give you this platform to be heard and to hear others. Do you think that there's any aspects about the universe itself that you find particularly appealing?
Well, there's a bunch of things that sound pretty ideal from that world that would definitely be appealing to have here. You know, how it seems that differences between ponies are not an issue at all, and how it's such a safe place, and how it's a lot more comfortable in the sense that even though that they don't have technology, they somehow find a way to do all sort of things that would be crazy to do right now. I mean, and some of that are things that I think are definitely worth aspiring for in terms of how the ponies get along with themselves. It's a people-friendly place. It's not harsh and blunt like reality is. And that's why it's so nice to escape there sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, and there's sort of this beautiful embracing of destiny and accepting of others that you find in Equestria, because how a pony should be and what a pony should do is very much, in a way, imbued with them as a being.
Yeah, the cool thing about that is that it's kind of unavoidable. I mean, once you get a cutie mark, it's kind of hard to get rid of the implications that it entails. So even if somebody wanted you to not be good at what you're good at, it's like, hey, dude, nature did this to me. How can you tell me not to be if it's right there on my butt? But it's not that easy to do in real life, because it's kind of hard to figure out what you're good at in the first place, and it's not a thing that's clear for people to see. So yeah, that's kind of problematic.
What do you think your cutie mark would be?
I'm still crusading. I think I would have like a mom cutie mark. I'm pretty motherly sometimes, so I can be pretty motherly and kind of nurturing with the people I care for, and I get a big kick out of that, and sometimes that gets me in trouble.
Oh yeah.